From the global resources of ABC News, with Terry Moran in Washington, Martin Bashir and Cynthia McFadden in New York City, this is Nightline, April 6th, 2007.
Good evening, I'm Terry Moran. Tonight we're going to take a look at the expanding American waistline and the struggle to slim it down. Most of us should eat less, there's no doubt about that. And most of us should eat out less. A recent government study found that the average American gets a full third of his or her calories from restaurants where portions are usually really big. But at a major restaurant chain, they've now staked their fortunes on the belief that customers actually want less. There's no question it's good for the waistline, but is it good for the bottom line? Here's ABC's Mike Von Fremd.
What could possibly be better for you than a full slab of ribs stacked high over a heaping mound of French fries? TGI Fridays says, how about half a slab of ribs over French fries with some crispy onion rings just for fun?
This is a little scary for us, and it is uncharted waters. Over the years, bigger has been better.
And there are some who worry that CEO Richard Sneed's decision that smaller is now better could steer this famous 41-year-old casual dining chain off a cliff. CEO Sneed is a hard-charging 55-year-old who literally races from one Fridays to another to make sure his staff keeps the customer coming back.
When they see the CEO walk through the doors, they kind of snap to attention. I mean,
yeah, I think they do. You know, I wish I could say I could walk in somewhat unannounced, but that doesn't seem to be happening to me very often these days.
The chain has created 10 new right portion dishes, about a third less food from regular dishes and about 40% cheaper.
let's not kid ourselves. You're not going to lose weight eating this particular meal. Correct?
But what you might do is you might order it because it won't be too much food. I mean, and that's really what the goal around this was.
In this day of Supersize Me, the Triple Whopper and 64-ounce soda, Americans are consuming 12% more calories a day than in the 1980s. And so Fridays is going against the restaurant chain grain. Take an old Friday's favorite, a plate of ribs. The old menu offered only a full slab at 24 ounces. The new right portion is just half a slab, 12 ounces, which is closer, but still there's twice as much on this plate as the 6 ounces of protein that the USDA says an average adult needs per day. Still, company executives say their right-sized portions are good for both customers' health and pocketbooks.
This gives you a chance to still indulge and eat less without having to pay for it, take it home, put it in the refrigerator.
The bottom line is, it looks to me like you've kept it as simple as possible.
We've tried to.
You just simply give less food.
Yes.
7 months ago, as the casual dining industry was suffering the worst downturn in a decade, Fridays commissioned a focus group which said their portions were just too big. A surprising conclusion, since in the past, when restaurants offered less food for the money, customers left in droves.
If we were a public company, I don't know that if we could do this as easily as we have been with a private company.
Other restaurant chains have tried it and gotten their heads handed to them by stockholders. But TGI Fridays isn't controlled by stockholders. It's owned by Marilyn Carlson, one of Forbes magazine's most 100 powerful women.
They have actually encouraged us, to do this. So that's been a good point of difference
They
for
look
us.
at the investment a little bit differently than the public market does. As you said, quarter to quarter pressures on public companies. They're able to take a long-term view on the business.
So the deal is, if you go for the smaller portion, you pay less?
Yes, absolutely. Right.
So your check's going to be less?
Yes.
Right.
We expect the check average will go down, and in our initial 4 weeks, it has gone down.
So your great idea has succeeded in making you less money per customer.
Well, our check average has also, or our ticket counts have also gone up.
The average bill has dropped because of cheaper prices, but the number of customers is increasing, possibly because of something called the veto vote.
There's usually one person in that group who becomes the veto vote. I choose not to go there because I can't get what I want there. By having right portion, right price, I essentially have eliminated the veto vote.
What does the customer think?
It's very good.
How come you picked it? And what did you have?
I had the seared salmon and pasta. And I took it because she recommended, she's had it before, she recommended it, and she was right. It is delicious.
It looks like you're getting close to filling your plate. Is it going to be enough, though?
Oh, yes. Yes. Actually, I'm full now, but I'm going to finish it.
And you know you save some money.
Yes, I do.
Business analysts say Fridays is attempting a high wire act by trying to increase its customer base at a time of ferocious competition.
People are eating more health conscious and they don't want to throw away food and all that sort of thing. And maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But at least they're trying. I mean, there's a graveyard full of big, high-profile names in this country that didn't do that.
Phil Costner is the restaurant's executive chef.
But you would consider your own taste buds pretty good?
Really good.
You know what America wants to eat, right?
Absolutely.
He says he's receiving the ultimate compliment as customers polish off the new smaller portions.
We want to get as many flavors into as many mouths as we can. And so, for us, one of the measures of success are clean plates coming back into the kitchen. So yeah, that's a big number for us.
And is that happening in the 4 weeks that this has been out there?
Anecdotally, I'll tell you, yes, from what we've seen, we're very happy with the results thus far.
Fridays has 1,000 restaurants around the world, and the CEO says it's learning from other cultures like those in the Middle East where portions are smaller.
In a number of places where you're in, I don't want to say secondary countries, but smaller economically developed countries, it's disrespectful to waste food. And we're careful not to do that.
And it turns out there are advantages to the smaller portions that executives are just beginning to discover.
I think one of the toughest things in casual dining today is to go out to out to lunch on a Wednesday or Thursday and not sit back in front of your computer and want to fall asleep.
Plus, when you eat it and you go back to work, you won't be so full that you want to take a nap.
So the bottom line is that saving money is good, fewer calories even better, and staying awake after lunch when the boss is watching, priceless. This is Mike Von Frem for Nightline in Dallas.
Forged signatures, Swiss bank accounts, $1 million